What's the difference between someone who competes and someone who doesn't compete? Let's talk about it. Before I get to yapping, type away what your thoughts is. Do you think like the person that competes has a better reaction time? Are they stronger? What's the difference? Short answer, there is a big difference. Some people don't think there isn't, but there is. That's the short answer. So you can go off the video if you want to. Yap time. Let's go to Yapaville. I want to talk about this. So I would say number one is when you go compete, if you don't compete, you only stay in the gym, you're really used to the people that's in your gym. They give you a certain, they give you a certain look. They give you a certain, you're very comfortable, I would say. I think a lot about, when it comes to sparring and martial arts, it's about being comfortable. And you get better as you get more comfortable. So I think that you are just much more comfortable with your training partners. And you get better that way. And it's nothing wrong with being comfortable. I think that's okay. And you're still pretty prepped to defend yourself better than the person who doesn't compete, or that doesn't train in general. So you're still better off than the person who doesn't train, even though you don't compete. The only thing is, let's get back to that word, comfortable. Okay, that's a big difference, because when you go to competition, let me explain this to you. For those who haven't competed yet, when you go to a competition, no one cares about you, right? But it feels, and what I mean by no one cares about you, like when you walk in, unless you're a celebrity or something, even for me, I'm not a celebrity, but a lot of people know me online. Sometimes when I walk in, no one notices me. So, and the point I'm saying this is, it feels like a weight is pushed on you, and that weight is pressure. And that's one thing that competition does. It puts pressure on you. And not only that, when you step on the competition mats, it just feels different. The competition mats feel different than your usual gym mats. It just maybe it's more sweatier, it's more slippery. It's just giving me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. It's a different feeling. Then on top of that, before you even get on the mat, right? You are looking across, usually the way it goes is before you even get on the mat, you get to look across from the opposite corner and you see the person that you're going against. And I don't care what no one says. I mean, unless I have a story for that. Unless the person looks terrified, visibly terrified, or you're really good at reading body language, every single person that's against you, they look terrifying. I don't care. Even for me, I'm just looking, I'm I don't know what this guy's about. I don't know what he's gonna do. You see how I'm thinking about it? I'm like, okay, just focus on the game plan. Don't worry about nothing. You're gonna be fine. But it's nerve-wracking. Your nerves get it. If I sound like I have a lisp, by the way, I brushed my teeth before I got on, and I feel like I have a lisp. But anyways, it's your nerves. Your nerves is just you're am I gonna be okay? Of course, once you get done, then you start thinking well, I could have did this, well, I could have did that. I should have did this and I should have did that. But I'm telling you guys, nerves and the stress test of dealing with a stranger that someone that you didn't know anything about. That is it's much different, and you come back a different person when you go back to the gym versus the person who was just chilling. And yeah, it's so starkly different, because and then also you develop a killer mindset. When you go to a competition, right? You have to, it depends on, so you have knockouts, right? We're talking about combat sports. You have knockouts, you have submissions. We're going to talk about Jiu-Jitsu in this context. If you are good at knocking someone out, right? Or if you're good at submitting someone, it's an itch. It feels different. Dang, I, for lack of a better term, know how to delete somebody. You get what I'm saying? I know how to end a fight. If me and this person came and we were trapped in the room together, and the only way to get out of this room, one of us had to go, I would walk out that room. It's a different feeling, and it really, I wish maybe they could do in the future like a brain scan of what happens when someone wins a competition, because I think like when you finish a fight, you like your whole mind, like your psychology changes. I'm telling you guys, trust me. Or if you're in the gym, right? This is the best way to explain it to you. If you're in the gym, let's say you're not competing, you're in the gym, and you get your first submission, or maybe you get a submission that you was just working on. Like you've been training really, really hard for this submission, and you finally got this submission. And that feeling that you have, like, oh, like you just, it's like a wave of excitement and emotion that's coming. Like I feel like something happens to our brain. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. It's like ecstasy. It's like I don't want to go too crazy with the explanation, but you get what I'm saying. Like I feel like the more you compete, that actually is like the effects of it goes tenfold. So even if you have one match, you don't need to, like, some people think like you need to go and maybe go through like 10, 15, 30 people. Like, no, even one match against a stranger, like it gives a different type of confidence. So I think, and then, you know, when you come back, you're a totally different person. Because another thing that I want to talk about, competition really exposes your flaws. Like whatever you're having issues with in the gym that your training partners are letting you get away with, when you go compete, that opponent is not gonna let you get away. He's gonna actually capitalize on top of that. So I think like once you come back, you realize like, you know, I almost got caught here, this almost happened. So it really changes your brain chemistry. And I guess for those who haven't competed yet, this is the best example. If you haven't competed, because you're probably thinking like, I still don't understand the feeling. Remember the feeling before you train martial arts. Like let's even go deeper. Like let's go like to a different step. Before you trained martial arts, right? Like the you when you first started martial arts is not the you now. The you now, I hope, it should be better, you know, than when you first started. Like, or when you did your first spar, how exhausted, how tired, how like scared you actually was, you know? Or let's say you haven't done martial arts at all. Like you haven't, you know, done martial arts, right? And you want to get into martial arts. Like, what's the difference between a person who's in martial arts, like a person who just got started in martial arts, or like a week or maybe a week, let's say a weekend, and you haven't started? There's a stark difference, and it just keeps going like that, you know? Like it's hard to explain, but I think a competition practitioner versus a hobbyist is two different people. It's not even close. And then on top of that, like, you want to know something I also want to talk about? Like, because I kind of briefly touched on it, but I want to deep dive into that more. The like adrenaline rush. You see how like that's where I feel like I feel it right here. Like it's like this. I don't know how to explain it, but when you see me, if you ever see me compete, I usually have a straight face, but I feel like a tension right here in my chest, and it's just like balled up, and I'm like, man, it's like it's an adrenaline dump. I would always say like you are your first worst enemy when you go compete. You know, like you will never feel that when you go train. You will never ever like experience it, because at the end of the day, there's this thing in the back of your mind where you're like, okay, yes, I could get hurt in the training room, but I'm fine, right? My training partners should be taking care of me. But when you're at a competition, there's some people who literally come to competitions and they're thinking like, this is do or die. You know, I'm about to destroy you for a $5 medal. You know, so, you know, that adrenaline dump of this person is really trying to hurt me. And then you like gas out. That's the part I want to talk about. Like your body even goes against you. You see everything I'm talking about? You can only experience that if you go compete. And then, like, some people ask me the question, I am sweating ill. Yeah. Like, you see how that's just bringing, like, whoo, like, I get too passionate sometimes. They're just thinking about competition makes me sweat. Like, oh my gosh. It's fun though. When you get better at competitions, and then by the way, you're never gonna get you saw how I just started sweating thinking about it. You're never gonna get rid of that feeling, because I just get giggity thinking about, like, trying to compete. The best you can do is just prepare, and no amount of just going to the gym, no amount of like, oh, I'm gonna, like, people don't get this part. Some people think, oh, I'm gonna just train for like 3 years or something, right? A year, or train for a super long time, and I'll be ready for competition. No, you're not. I'm sorry. You have to go and jump in competition. There's a difference. If you haven't competed, you need to go. You need to feel how it, I mean, of course, hold on. Like, I do say, like, for me, I like to regularly compete. If I haven't competed in a while, I do give myself, like, let's say 3 months, and I need to go a certain amount of days before I go compete. Okay, you know, like, that's just actual strategic preparation. But if you haven't really competed as much, there's nothing you can do to get prepared for it. You're still gonna get beat up. I'm sorry. I always tell people, like, who hasn't competed, like, you're probably gonna lose your first competition. If you win, good job. I'm happy for you. I'm not, like, that's not condescending. I'm legit happy for you. But for the most part, you're gonna lose. Like, it's okay. You have to. There's so many things, and you are your worst enemy. Always. You're always gonna be. There's not one competition that I haven't went to and I wasn't, like, nervous as hell. And I've been to, like, so many competitions. I think it's 60 wins and 59 submissions, and I was terrified in all of them. Like, I was absolutely scared. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I put a lot of, also, that's another thing to talk about. Like, I don't know if you're like me, where you put a lot of pressure on yourself, where you want to do great, and you want, like, I don't want to just win. I want to have a good performance, you know? So that even raises the stakes. Some people just say, well, I just want to go see how I do, and I just want to experience it. No, you didn't pay all that money to go to that competition just to test yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a part of you, that little snooty child that's in you that wants to win, you know, whether you say it or not. Because if you lose in a terrible fashion, you're gonna be, like, irritated. So you see, everything that I just explained, let me drive the point home. That's a person who has experienced competition. Okay, it had me sweating just thinking about that. Like, that's a person who's experienced competition, dealing with strangers, dealing with people who's trying to hurt you, that's trying to harm you. And then they have cameras too. You might have a person like me coming to the competition and they want to post it online. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, whew, like, it's an experience that you will never get just being a hobbyist in the gym. I think every single martial arts practitioner should be at least trying it at least one time. There's a quote, I think it was Aristotle, Greek philosopher. I think it was him, or maybe it was Plato. I don't know. But he was like, I'm gonna paraphrase it because I don't have it on my persons, but he was like, shame is the man who never trained his body to see the full extent of where it could go. Look it up. Like, basically what he was saying is, how can you really live and experience life if you've never trained your body to its maximum capacity? You know, and I say the same for martial arts. How can you train this martial art and you've never stress test your abilities and actually won? How can you? How can you really experience and know the real version of you? Because you come out like a phoenix. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm just hyping it up and I'm just exaggerating, but I'm so serious. Like, you come out a different person when you compete. And that's the competition side. If you're a hobbyist, you have not met the real you. That's what I'm trying to say. You haven't met the real you. That's the difference. One person met themselves and the other person hasn't met themselves. That's all I gotta say. type of way. Y'all take care.